Most relationship misunderstandings come down to one simple thing. You're either a thinking type or a feeling type, and the person you're talking to probably isn't wired like you. A logical processor, which is the thinking preference, hears a problem and thinks, okay, what's the fix? An interpersonal processor, which is the feeling preference, hears the same exact problem and thinks, okay, how does everyone feel? And that one difference quietly causes tension in marriages, parenting, leadership experiences, and even in friendships every single day. So today I'm going to show you exactly why T and F types misunderstand each other and how to finally communicate in a way that helps both people feel heard. And make sure you stay until the end because I'm going to give you the number one question to ask before things get tense so you can avoid many miscommunications. Let's get into it. So some people think like scientists. They focus on facts and logic and fairness. And when something goes wrong, their first question is, what's the solution? They step outside of a problem to look at it objectively. Others think like counselors. They care about feelings and connection and harmony. So when they make decisions, their first question is everyone okay? How does this line up with my personal values? They step into a problem to understand the emotions involved. Now, here's where the misunderstandings happen. One person's trying to make sense of the problem, and the other is trying to make peace with it. Christian neuroscientist Dr. Caroline Leaf explains that the brain has 7 primary areas that process different types of information: logical, musical, linguistic, interpersonal, and so on. And here's the important part. Information does not move through everybody's brain in the same order. For some people, the logical center lights up first. For others, the interpersonal center does. We all use all 7 areas, just in different sequences and to different degrees. So when someone responds differently than you, it's because a person's first response often stems from the part of their brain that the information hits first. It's often not immaturity or stubbornness or a personality flaw. It's simply different wiring. Once you understand this, you can invite God into your responses. Lord, help me slow down. Help me hear what this person is truly saying. Help me respond with your wisdom, not just my default wiring. Now let's see how this plays out in real life. For the logical processor, the T preference, they think, I need to understand this. So you lead with your head. You want clarity. You want facts. You want things to make sense. But sometimes that strength can create disconnection in relationships or in leadership moments. For example, your spouse or your friend says, you never listen to me. And you quickly reply, that's not true. I just listened to you yesterday. You're proving your point logically, but what that person was probably looking for was connection, not proof. They wanted to know that they mattered to you. Or as a parent, your teen comes home with a bad grade, right? You immediately say, you didn't study enough. Let's make a plan. While that is practical and solution-oriented, and they may need your help in making a plan, what your child might need first is reassurance. Like, hey, I know you tried. You'll be okay. We'll get through this. Even in leadership, this can show up in meetings. Someone shares an idea that feels unrealistic to you. Your instinct might be to analyze it, run the numbers, spot the flaws, and point out what doesn't make sense. And that is very helpful. But sometimes this can come across as insensitive to those who spent time on the project. Beginning your critique with affirmation first can make a huge difference. Try saying something like, I appreciate how much time you spent on this. I really like these points here. And then offer a few suggestions for improvement after that. You'd be surprised how far that goes in just building bridges with people. Your logical mind is a gift, but when you pause and ask God, how do you see this? He can expand your awareness. He will remind you that ideas grow when they're nurtured, not immediately criticized. And relationships grow when truth comes after the connection. For the interpersonal processor, you think, I want everyone to be okay. So you lead with your heart. You feel the room. You can probably easily sense tension, and you care deeply about harmony. Here are some blind spots to look out for, though. First one is avoiding conflict. Let's say a teammate is underperforming, and you know it's affecting the group. Instead of addressing it directly, you sugarcoat your feedback or you avoid the topic altogether. You tell yourself, I don't want to hurt their feelings. But over time, the problem grows and frustration spreads quietly throughout the team. The second example is comforting when action is needed. So a friend shares a deep struggle, financial, emotional, or spiritual, and you listen compassionately and you say, I'm praying for you. That is meaningful, but the person might actually need practical help or accountability, and stopping at comfort can feel hollow or even patronizing. So sometimes love looks like helping them take the next steps, not just feeling seen in the struggle. The third example is the peacemaking parent. Let's say your kids are arguing, and instead of helping them work through it, you rush to smooth things over. Like, come on, let's all just get along. But that bypasses an opportunity for them to learn conflict resolution, forgiveness, and boundaries. So avoiding discomfort can teach temporary peace, but not lasting maturity. So your empathy mirrors God's compassion, but He also gives us courage. Truth and love grow people. Not just comfort, but clarity comes with that. So sometimes the most loving thing you can say is, "This feels awkward, but I need to talk with you because I care about you." And then discuss some of the hard things that you've been avoiding. So, as I promised, the number one question to ask people that changes everything is, do you want my help to fix this, or do you want a listening ear? This question honors both types. It helps the logical processor slow down and avoid giving unwanted advice, and helps the interpersonal processor offer solutions when solutions are what's needed. This one question prevents so many unnecessary arguments, hurt feelings, and misunderstandings between people. Understanding your wiring really does change relationships. It deepens your compassion, it helps you love people better. And the more you understand how God designed you, the easier it becomes to find your place and to extend grace to others. Thanks for watching. Check out my other videos on personality and spiritual growth. And remember, the more you understand yourself, the easier it is to love others well. Have a great day.